Raging Gale by James Ryan. Read by the author. Part the 13th. The Contested Boarding. The Raging Gale's swivel gun's yell startled Hope, a small tongue of fire from the barrel, licking the smoke that followed. As the smoke dissipated, the fleet came closer into view. Hope guessed from the symbols on the standard that she was a Dutch vessel, a much larger ship than the one on which she had been traveling to Carolina. The fleet responded with a single cannon, a larger gun with a deeper tone that threatened far more menacingly than the swivel gun. An angry murmur came from the pirate crew, like bees from a disturbed colony, and Hope worried that this day might be her last. "Ready the grape!" cried Captain Sanders, as she put her whole self into the tiller, forcing the Raging Gale to go hard to port. "Grape! Grape!" Collins called to the men at the guns. The crews took buckets of small metal balls and stuffed them down the barrels of the cannons to follow the gunpowder they had stuffed in before. Around her, the crew massed on deck with ready implements. As the gale went into her turn, Hope could now see the men on the deck of the fleet, as determined to keep the pirates off their deck as the pirates were to get on. Hope heard calls of "Ready, grape!" from the crew, which Collins relayed to Osai, who passed words on to Sanders. "Be ready for it!" the captain called out, as she and two men lurched to the tiller, making the gale take a turn to starboard, bearing down on the fleet. Hope could sympathize with the men on the Dutch ship, remembering how threatening the pirates had seemed as they closed in on her. The fleet started to turn to port, though it was more of an announcement of intent, as her rudder flapped against the stern without the vessel starting its course change. Slowly, so slowly, did the Dutch ship start to change course. The Raging Gale would not allow her prey the dignity of finishing the turn. Captain Sanders and her tillers again lunged, and the brigantine rolled to port again, bearing her starboard side to her prey. The captain's order was more of a war cry than an actual word, but the crew carried the cry to the decks below, and the command was acted upon. Hope saw bright flashes off the side and watched smoke billow up onto the deck as though hell had been opened overboard. On the fleet, men who had been readied to repel the invaders were going down like ninepins as the small round pellets swarmed the ship, lead bees with stings more painful than those of real ones. Hope did not understand why the gale continued to turn away from her prey. It became clear when, despite the volley, one cannon on the Dutch vessel did go off. Her solid ball struck a glancing blow off the hull. Hope felt the impact through her legs, and she heard cries from below. How much distress the ship was under she could not tell, though Hope quickly imagined the gale was going to certainly sink from that. Thank you for taking this moment with me. If you want to keep up with new chapters as they get posted, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon for notifications for when pieces go up.